Hey guys, welcome to the Girl Take Note podcast. I am your host, Shaunie Sanders, and today I have a special guest host with me.
Yay, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah, I'm excited that you're here too.
This is amazing. I love it.
Listen,
I'm so proud of you, girl. Get it, girl.
Thank you.
Yes, we should all be living in the life of doing the things that make us happy and doing what is our passion, right?
Yep.
And I think that that's what we're here for. And I think
that's exactly what
a lot of people don't do that, and then you wonder why people are just not happy and just going around just being nasty and unhappy to people. It's just not good.
Existing,
exactly.
Just existing, not really doing what brings them joy, which is what we talked about on the last episode.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So we want to do the things that bring us joy, that make us happy, and that we just know it's going to really benefit our lives in a better way.
Mm-hmm.
So, but let me introduce my guest co-host with me today. Okay, this is Nikki DeVerger.
Hi.
She is a new wife, still in that newlywed stage.
Newlywed.
Very newlywed.
Very.
Okay, and she is Dr. Nikki DeVerger, actually.
Yes, Dr. Nikki.
Therapist.
Yes.
Okay, she is also an entrepreneur.
I am.
She has a business called Morgan Taylor Scrubs.
Yes.
If you guys don't know, it's quite amazing. You need to check that out.
Yes, check it out.
All the info will be dropped in the description, so just make sure you guys read that so you can purchase and do what you got to do. But she also has a new business.
Yes, it's a new business that I'm working on. It's called Ellison LLC. I'm still trying to figure out doing the business as part, as I just hit myself in the face with the mic, but it's all good. I just don't know what it is just yet, but basically since we had our wedding in Jamaica, I've actually created a business to help people find all the vendors, wedding planners, everything you need to have your event in Jamaica. So I'm looking forward to launching that soon.
I think that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
I think a lot of people need help with that destination type of wedding.
Yes.
You know what I mean? To have those resources, to have those vendors that you can trust, that you know are good.
Exactly.
So I think the business is going to do very well.
I believe so too.
You know, talking about that business, which is bring us to today's topic.
Yes.
So today we're talking about why women over 40 should not give up on love and marriage.
Should not give up at all.
Should not give up.
Should not.
And the reason why I thought about this topic is because, one, we're women over 40.
Correct.
And we got married.
Yes.
Over 40.
Correct. I agree.
And so I've been searching social media. Like, I'm on social media all the time, as I know everybody else is.
Right.
And so I see so many videos of women that say, you know, it's so hard to find a man. It's so hard dating. It's so hard finding someone who's serious about being in a relationship. Mm-hmm. And then I want to talk about something, too, that I've seen this word been floating around a lot too, and I want to actually, if you know what I mean, about a high value woman. Right? I've been seeing this word a lot floating around social media, YouTube, Clubhouse.
High value woman.
High value woman. And we're going to get into that because I think that has a lot to do with why a lot of women have a hard time dating. You know what I mean?
I think so.
Because it's the label that they gave themselves.
Not only that, I think it's also what they're looking for.
It's what they're looking for.
And I really do think that a lot of people are unrealistic about what love and marriage is. I think that people need to be really clear about what they want. And I think a lot of people are not clear. Yeah. They're not. You know, I think you should sit down and take time to yourself, write down all of the traits that you feel is non-negotiable for you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and what, not only traits, but what is it that you want?
What is it that you want? And that's the key word.
What do you want?
And I think a lot of time people start with, okay, I'm going to do my self-work, which is what you should do.
Correct.
You know what I mean? Because it's about your own self-worth.
Yes.
You know, because I know, I want us to tell both our own stories in terms of like our dating and how we got to where we are now.
Yes.
To be married.
Yes.
You know, I'm 4 years in, but when I decided to date seriously and intentionally, and I think that's the key thing for me, is that I said, okay, you know what? Before I just been dating and just to be dating, but I need to date with more intent. You know, I say I want a man, I say I want a boyfriend, I say I want to be married, but I wasn't really being intentional about it.
And do your actions actually meet up with what you want?
Exactly.
So when I actually started dating, I was very intentional.
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to find my husband, and that's my goal.
Yes.
There's 3 main things that I really wanted that he needed to have. He needed to have a relationship with God.
Yeah.
It's actually 4. He needed to have a relationship with God, an excellent relationship with his family. He needed to want to be married, and he wanted to have kids. 4 things.
Listen.
Never negotiated. I turned down so many good-looking men who had it going on, had the paper, had their profession, and all of that, and they did not have one of those. And that was I don't care how good looking you were. I don't care if you had everything else. It was a no for me.
That's exactly what I did too. I was so serious about dating. I was so serious about my worth. You know what I mean? Not in terms of like, oh, well, this guy's beneath me kind of thing.
Right.
But just more so that I don't have to prove myself to you, that I'm the one for you. That kind of thought process, I think a lot of women still think that way too. They're always trying to prove themselves to guys. That kind of thing went away from me. Because I'm like, I don't have nothing to prove, but everything to share. And I learned that from Momentum.
Right.
You know?
Shout out to Momentum.
Shout out to Momentum, because when I took Momentum, it really changed my thought process.
It did.
About how I view myself. And I'm not like advocating. This ain't no sponsored by Momentum, but I'm just telling you that self-work,
right,
and
is the
really
key.
Understand yourself and the things you want is really key to getting what you truly want. Like with understanding what you truly want.
And you realize, and you find out what your blind spots are, right?
Yeah.
And you find out what are your patterns and why do you keep attracting the same type of guy. Is because you maybe have a relationship issue with your father that you're trying to resolve in your relationships, when that's not what you're supposed to be doing, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of things. Even with men, they may have relationship issues with their mother, and they are not able to resolve that.
Yeah, that's true.
And they use, or dating is what is the platform that is used to actually help them to get over it and move on to the next step, right?
It is, yeah.
And it is true. If you don't get the lesson, the lesson will keep repeating itself.
And I think that's the issue too. A lot of the lessons repeat themselves, and people are not intentional about dating. It's
No,
like,
they're not.
if you say you want to be married, then date those guys that have that focus. So when I was dating, you know, one of my questions definitely would be, hey, do you want to be married? And it's not to say that you're going to be the one I'm going to marry, but it's more so to say that you have a mindset that, yes, I want something greater than just a dating relationship with someone. But, you know, I think a lot of guys get thrown off by that question sometimes, because they think like, oh, she's trying to marry me. But no, I'm not trying to marry you. I just want to know that it's in your future plan.
Correct.
Because if it wasn't in his future plan, then I just didn't date him.
Right.
Because I didn't have time, especially when you're over 40, right?
You don't have time to waste. You don't have time to
waste. That marriage and children, especially marriage and children, I don't have time to convince you marriage and children is what you want.
Right. Because if that's not what you want, you need to go the other way.
Exactly. It's either you know or you don't know. I tell people, don't date somebody that's on the fence about marriage and children.
No.
That one day, oh, he might want them.
No.
Because if you know in your heart that that's something you 100% want,
and if he doesn't want it, you need to go the other way.
Don't date the guy that don't want it.
Do not do it.
That's what it is. A lot of women date men hoping that they one day is going to want what they want, and so they get disappointed. You know what I mean? And then they give up and like, oh, I can't find a good man. You can find a good man.
You can find a good man. And
there are a lot of them out there too.
There are, and that's your mindset too, because I actually believe that there were good men out there. There's a lot of women out here who are on the dating scene who believe that there aren't any good men. Yeah. So if that's your mindset, you're going to keep attracting that.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay, so you have to believe that there are good men, and you're going to find your person, however it is. Because I thought I was going to find mine via dating websites.
Yeah.
And how, right. But that's how adamant I was. And I was like, I was literally going on dates every single day. Yeah. And it was to the point that I got so tired because I felt like it was an interviewing process. And after I decided that I didn't want to date online anymore, I'm like, God, you know what? Take the wheel. I believe that you're going to send who he has for me, to me.
Yeah.
I literally logged off all of my dating apps. I deleted my profile. I went home. I cleared out my house, cleared out my closet, and I was like, I'm making room for my husband.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I went to Salvation Army to drop it off, and then my homegirl Jackie calls me. And she was like, do you know him? I'm like, what are you talking about? She's like, I just sent you a picture of this guy. I want to know if you know him. I was like, well, give me a moment. I'm actually at Salvation Army, and I'm about to drop off some stuff. Let me drop it off, and I'll look.
Yeah.
So I dropped it off, and I looked. I was like, yeah, I know him. I've seen him before. I was like, well, he was in a situation. She was like, girl, he is single. Be at my house tomorrow at 7.
Listen.
And I said, okay.
You
so
listen, it was a whole
I know.
To get you and Jamel together. Like, it was a whole thing in the background. I remember Jackie calling me because I thought the exact same thing to myself. I was like, you know what? He would be good for her. Like, he really would.
Yeah.
So it was definitely by God's design.
It sure was, because, you know, he wasn't, you know, he's actually from North Carolina.
Yeah.
And he actually moved up here thinking that, you know, his previous relationship was the relationship he was supposed to be in.
Yeah.
And it didn't work out. And that's how I got introduced to him after they were no longer together. And I think it was some time that they weren't together.
Yeah.
Could have been 6 months or a year after they broke up. And I went to Jackie's house for dinner. And ever since then, we were dating. The rest was history. And 2 years later, he proposed. And here we are.
And that's what I'm saying. So that's why I'm like, women over 40 should not give up.
No.
You just have to be a little bit more intentional.
Yes. And not just step out of your box. You know, the person that you want may not look the same or may not be what you pictured, or it may not come the way you wanted it to come, or it may be somebody that's right underneath your nose and you don't even know that.
Could be, because he was underneath your nose.
He was literally underneath my nose.
Yeah, you just didn't know.
It just didn't know. And it obviously it wasn't the time either.
Was in a relationship.
Yes. And I was dating fools at the time, you know, and, you know, still figuring it out. And we actually came together when we were supposed to come together.
Listen, I met my husband through the dating apps, but let me tell you about my dating experience, that I actually enjoyed my dating experience.
Oh, I did too, don't get me wrong.
I didn't date some of the greatest ones, you know, but dating is a process of elimination.
It sure is.
You know what I mean? So you can't just give up just because you met a few bad apples. You know, you have to keep going.
You have to keep going.
You have to keep going. And that's why I'm a huge advocate for dating multiple people at one time.
I agree. And a lot of people don't think that. Now, just because we're saying dating multiple people at one time does not mean that you're sleeping with multiple people at one time. That's not what we're saying.
But if they're giving up to everybody.
But you're grown. If that's what you want to do, do you, right?
Your body, your way, your
exactly.
rights, you know?
But at the end of the day, it is best that you date more than one person, because you see what works best for you, what you like from what you don't like, because then you don't so much waste time with one person, because if it doesn't work out, it'd be like, okay, well, at least I have other options.
Yeah.
Right? And there's no number that you should stop at. And but be realistic, you know.
Yeah, be realistic on what you can handle.
And be intentional. Yeah. So at the end of the day, if you believe that that person is out there for you, and you believe in love, and you believe that you deserve it, it will come to you when it's supposed to come to you.
Yeah. I just think that today, like you said, I had a mindset that, one, I knew I was going to get married. I knew I was going to get married simply because everybody around me was already married. So I never thought I wasn't going to get married. I just was like, although everybody got married in their 30s, I was like, okay, it's just taking a little longer for me. You know what I mean? But I never gave up on it. I continued to date. I dated multiple people. And the person who was for me kind of rose to the top amongst that group of people. But like I said, the failure with a lot of women now is like, I even saw a woman did this on social media the other day where she said, oh, I'm not dating multiple people. I'm dating one person, and one person's going to see my worth. And I'm like, you date this one person, you put all this time and effort, and it doesn't work out. Now you're just dating. And I think a lot of issues with women who date today is that they think because this guy is dating them that he's their boyfriend or something. When you never had the conversation. You never had a conversation about, okay, what are we doing? Are we in a relationship? You don't just assume someone is your man just because he's sleeping with you or because he's showing you some attention.
And men have been doing it from day one. They date multiple women.
They always do.
Yes, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah. Until you say, like, look, we're together.
I'm not gonna lie, I was that girl before that would date somebody and feel like, okay, he's my man, I'm just gonna be with him. Like, I got tunnel vision.
Right.
And
I've been there at one point too.
You get hurt because you realize, well, he didn't have tunnel vision. He was out there dating.
He was
just
out there. Right.
You know, and so I started being a little bit more intentional, a little bit more wise when it came to dating and dating multiple people. I had like a roster, maybe 6 people.
Right.
But like you said, it all depends on how many you can handle.
And how many you want to handle. Exactly.
Yeah, but it was just, I was enjoying it. There were men who wanted to be married. There were men who wanted children. You know what I mean? They didn't say they wanted right now, but it was something that they wanted.
Right.
You know, but then it was more so like, okay, getting to know their personality, seeing how well we mesh. You know what I mean? Do things really align?
Right.
And my husband kind of rose to the top of those people, you know? And so women today just feel like, they just have, one, they have this long list of things that this man must come. He must have this tall. He must have this. He must have that. Have some amount of money a month. He must be. I remember one girl said he must see a therapist, and I'm like, why does he see a therapist? Because you see a therapist doesn't mean he got issues,
right?
And not to say that you gotta have issues to see a therapist,
right?
But it's like he doesn't have to have everything that you have. Like, My husband didn't have to have a house. I already had one. You know what I mean? He just came in on that.
Right.
You know, and I feel like a lot of women miss out on men because they're all looking for the same kind of guy. You know, instead of looking for someone who have more morals that you're looking for and who's hardworking. Everybody doesn't have to be a millionaire or a baller. You know,
he has to also have a plan.
He needs to have a plan.
He needs to have a plan. It just don't think that, okay, yeah, we're going to get together and that's it. What is your 5-year goals? What is your 10-year goals? You know what I mean? And where do you see us? You know, what
do you see us?
Right. What are you bringing to the table? What am I bringing to the table?
Yeah.
You know, I think a lot of people men and women are unrealistic when it comes to certain things. For instance, they want a woman who eats right and has a healthy body, but they're overweight.
Yeah.
You know, they want somebody who...
Everybody want a baddie.
Right. Everybody want a baddie, but you ain't taking care of yourself either, right?
Exactly.
Everybody wants somebody who is able to just get up and just travel and do whatever, but your finances are no good either, right?
Exactly.
So basically, you need to be what you want to attract. And at the end of the day, you know, you want somebody who's, you know, faithful and not a liar, but you're one of those people as well, too.
Yeah.
You know, you have to be what you want to attract. And that's just the bottom line. And you have to believe that you deserve it, that it's coming, and it's yours.
And it's yours. And you have to be open. And I think one of the things you said is important is that the man that you have in your mind, right, your vision that you see, might not be the guy that you actually end up marrying.
Correct.
Because I could be honest, my husband's not the guy I thought I would marry. I thought I would marry, first of all, I mean, his height, of course.
Right.
You know, I wanted someone tall, but like, I like dark skinned men. And I'm not saying, you know, I'm just saying that's just how I was.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I dated a really different kind of guy, but my husband is a very hard worker. You know what I'm saying? And so he just kind of won me over. Our personalities are very similar. He's very family oriented. Like, I really love that about him.
Right.
How much he
love that
family.
too.
You know what I'm saying? And it was just one of those things. I was like, man, this is kind of like for me. I got a big family. I got to make sure I'm with someone that's okay that when my nieces want to come live with us, he's okay with that.
I got you.
You know, because he was okay with that. And he's still okay with that.
Okay,
you know?
good.
And so I just feel like this person that they have in their mind, they think is the one for them, is not exactly who you're going to marry.
To be honest, I thought I was going to marry somebody from New York, and I'm like, I kicked that to the curb a long time ago. You know, because my husband, he's from North Carolina, and such a Southern gentleman, I tell you. And and the other thing that I prayed for, or I've always wanted, is my husband to have a West Indian background, and he does.
He does.
So I just love it, and to be honest, sometimes I believe that he can cook better than me, but you don't tell anybody that. But yes, we have a blast. Of course, nobody's relationship is perfect. Everybody has their own issues, but I know and I believe that he is the person that we will be able to get through anything.
And I think that's key too, is that people have to understand that nobody is perfect.
Nobody.
There's no such thing as a perfect package.
Nope.
Everybody comes with some shit. Everybody got things with them. You got things with you. He got things with him.
Exactly.
You have to be willing to work through those things together.
You have to.
But I think it's the patience that a lot of women just don't have anymore, because they run into these guys that are just like pretenders who you meet their representatives. You don't meet the real person, you know, who maybe sometimes lie about what they want. And then, you know, and then now all of a sudden you're just stuck and you're just kind of like, okay, I thought you wanted this. But you also, as a woman, you have to pay attention to what people tell you.
Yeah, because you have to believe what you see.
Believe what you see.
Believe what you see. People who show up the way that they are, believe it. Don't think, oh no, they're doing it this way because of this and that. Do not make excuses. Believe when they show up, believe it. There was something else I was going to say that you were saying when it comes to relationships, but it left my mind, and it will come back in a second.
It will come back.
It will come back. It will definitely come back.
I want to tell you about this high value woman. So I sat in on a Clubhouse room a few months ago, because that's when I first heard this terminology.
Wow.
And they were talking about high value women. And so basically, in all sense and purpose, me and you would be considered high value women.
Why would that
be? Because one, we make good salaries, right?
Yeah.
We have great careers.
Okay.
We had homes, right?
Okay.
We have homes of our own.
Yeah.
We have our own cars. You know what I mean? It's like, so that's kind of like what they consider to be like a high value woman who has a lot of her own things, who's doing her own thing, right?
Okay.
And she's self-sufficient.
Yeah.
So a man has to come and kind of meet her on her level. Like, she's not going to date a guy that's like, I don't know, let's say she's not going to date the guy that works for the city who works for the garbage department.
Why not? They make good money.
But
if he's gonna add to my life, and he's gonna take care of the family and do all the things that I've always wanted, and same for me for him.
Yep.
Why not?
That's what I'm saying. So I'm in this conversation, I'm in this room, and I'm just listening to these women. All of them are single women, right? And they're talking about, you know, what they feel they're worth and what they believe their partner should come with.
Okay.
And how they're not going to date men they're not going to date a man who's not an entrepreneur. You know what I mean? Who doesn't have that kind of entrepreneur spirit. And, you know, and I'm listening to this and I'm just saying to myself, God, man, women make it so complicated these days.
It's really not that hard. It really is not that hard.
You know, I think women forget is that sometimes you can get with a man, right, who doesn't have the same things as you. And he might not be someone who grew up like as a person who was entrepreneur. He might have been parents who were just hard workers, who work for companies and retired from those companies. But it doesn't mean that when you get with a man that you cannot inspire him. I show him more to life. Show him those greater things that he can achieve.
Right.
Maybe he just don't know.
He might not know.
Show him that this is what we can have together.
Right.
I believe in you, and you're this or that, and you can achieve this, and this. Some men you can motivate, and that you can grow together and build something greater together.
A lot of women don't see that, but I'm not going to knock those who want that too.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, I'm not.
Right, because that could be on their list, but maybe they want that person, so you know they can, you know, encourage each other.
To say, oh, well, my man has to be an entrepreneur. Is it really realistic to say that that's a part of your list?
I don't know I don't want to say if it's realistic. It's realistic. I think that once you focus on the character traits of the man that you want, I think everything else will fall into place.
Yeah.
I do believe that you focus on, like, they have a relationship with God, family oriented. Are they kind? Are they thoughtful? Are they trustworthy? You know, stuff like that. Versus he needs to have a BMW. He needs to make this much amount of money and da 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 da. Those are great.
Yeah.
But you can have a man who makes all that money and has that BMW or that Benz, and he treats you like garbage.
Exactly.
You know, so you have to really think about core values and what can they bring to the table, and how do you want them to make you feel?
I think that's key. You gotta think about core values.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not the materialistic.
No, because that will come if you have the right person and you're a great team.
Yeah, you can achieve
anything.
But so many women are just looking for that man that has a certain status in life. You know,
or
not all men have that.
Or he has to have a big dick. I mean, that's the one and only thing. I mean, come on.
A lot of them think that. A lot of women want that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not telling you to be wrong in what you want.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
But be realistic about it.
Be realistic about it. Like, honestly, having a big dick should really be on your list.
No, it should not.
I mean, you would want a great lover.
Of course, you want
and
somebody
that his dick size could be any size,
and he can make you come plenty times.
Exactly. So it's just about having a great lover.
Exactly. It's all about the type of intimate relationship that you have. It actually, sex starts before you get into the bedroom.
Yeah.
It starts, does. But you know how you communicate with each other throughout the day. What kind of love things do you do for each other? What is your love language?
Yeah.
You know, you got to figure out what your love language is. Are you words of affirmation?
Oh yeah.
Are you touch?
Yeah.
You know, the other ones are quality time. Are you somebody who likes somebody to do things for you?
Yeah.
Do you like gifts? You know, to receive? You know, you got to figure out what you are and figure out what you want.
Yeah, because you can get everything. You can get almost everything on the list that you have describing a person. Oh, he got to be this tall, he got to be this money, and he can really end up not being shit. You know what I mean? He could be a dude that really treats you like shit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? One that you can't trust.
Right.
You know what I mean? One that doesn't really want you, but you're so busy chasing him because he seems to be everything that I want.
Right.
But yet you're not everything he wants.
And the thing is, women, you got to look at it this way: are you chasing people who are unavailable?
Yeah.
Because I know that's what I was doing. Before I met my husband, I was looking for men who were unavailable because my father was unavailable. And I was looking to fix that relationship and looking to get that right.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, once I realized that that's what I was doing, because I was going to therapy and all that other stuff. I am a firm believer of therapy.
Yeah.
I think it also helped me, get through my parents passing and all that stuff, dealing with them having cancer and everything, and dealing with my own personal issues, that I realized I was always dating men who were unavailable.
Yeah.
Until I realized that, and the light went off, like, oh, that's it. I said, I no longer want to date anybody like that. I don't want to do any long distance relationships. I don't want to do anything with anybody who doesn't want to put me first, or make time, or make me a priority, because that's something that I always did with anybody I dated. That's just who I am. And I said, I want somebody who wants the things that I want. And that's when I was very intentional, and I went out and I did the work, and I dated. I literally was going on dates every single night. I didn't have to buy groceries for months. It was like, whoa. They were like, you going on another date? I was like, yes. And my girlfriends, I was sending them pictures of the guys online, of their page. I was even letting them know where we were going to meet.
Yeah, when you're dating online,
you got to be very safe about it.
Yeah.
I even took pictures of license plates, and I sent it to friends. Yeah. I wasn't playing. I let them know, oh, the date was over, or yeah, it was good, or however, I'm home safe. Yeah. I wasn't playing that, because no. There's so many scary things that could happen to you, especially out here in these streets. And I was just making sure that I was safe. And any of my other friends who were going on dates, I was making sure that they were safe. And I think you should be safe while you're out there. But be intentional.
Be intentional. Be intentional. Be realistic about your list. Like you said, I think having no more than maybe 4 or 5 things that you really, core values that a man must have. None of them should really be physical appearance, because you never know who you're attracted to. We always say, well, I got to be physically attracted. But I've dated men who I didn't thought was the most attractive.
I have too.
But it was just something about their personality, the way they made me laugh, or just the outgoing personality. I was so attracted to that. And I think we need to understand that we are attracted to people in different ways. It doesn't necessarily always have to be the physical. Now, when I met my husband, was I attracted to him? Yeah, I was attracted to him. You know what I mean? I was. But he got a really great personality. You know what I'm saying? He was very funny.
Right.
You know what I mean? So it's just other things that will kind of win you over with a guy versus just his physical appearance.
Right.
Because just because it's a nice package doesn't mean it's great.
I ain't gonna lie. Good looking was on my list. It was on my list, but there's nothing wrong with that. You should ask for whatever you want. I also wanted my husband to be tall, and my husband is tall. Yep. To be honest with you, I found the list of what I wrote down of all the traits that I wanted in my husband. And one day I found it when I was cleaning out my office, and I started crying. And he came in there. He's like, "What's wrong, babe? What's wrong?" I was like, I found my list of what I was looking for before you came into my life. And I look at this list, and this is everything of who you are. And he read it. He was like, "Oh my God!" And we both were crying and all that other stuff. So, I'm truly blessed. And
you are, because a lot of women don't get everything on their list.
No, they don't. But my list wasn't like outrageous.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I was asking for simple things. He needs to be confident. I did ask for an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't say I asked for an entrepreneur. I asked for somebody who was supportive.
Yeah.
Correct. And he is too.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing.
My husband's very supportive too.
Right. So you need somebody who's supportive. I wanted somebody who was caring, understanding, trustworthy. Stuff like that is what I put down. And
I think those are important things.
Yes.
It's just other things that when I was in this room and listened to these women talk about, I'm just like,
they're lost.
They are lost. And I'm not saying you shouldn't value yourself highly. I'm not saying that you're not
at all
confident in what you bring to the table. You are correct. But at the same time, you have to be realistic. This is real life. This is not something we make up in our minds. When you deal with people, you deal with people. People are unpredictable. You know what I mean? People come in different packages, and it's like...
And your package can look completely different than what you thought it was going to be.
And that's what it is.
Right. And you may not get everything that you want on your list, or you may be blessed and you may get that. But just be realistic. Are you doing what you're asking for? Are you confident? If you're asking for a confident man, are you confident? Are you, supportive? Are you supportive? Are you able to support your man if he comes to you and say, "Look, hey, I want to quit my job and start my dream"? job
Listen,
or dream
and
business.
that's a big one. Like,
and that's a big one.
Are there a lot of women out there that would do that?
Correct.
You know what I'm saying? Because especially these high value women, I don't know if they're the ones that's going to do that.
I know.
Like, they can't kind of be like, hey, babe, I want to quit my job and I want to pursue this entrepreneurship.
Yeah.
They're going to look at him like, what?
Right.
Like, nigga, please.
Okay.
That's what they're going to say.
And that's why I'm like, you gotta be what you're asking for. You know, are you outgoing? You want somebody who's outgoing, but yet you don't go anywhere.
Yeah.
You don't.
Yeah.
When you go out, you're sitting on the couch or wherever you are, just twiddling your fingers and not talking to somebody. You know what I mean? You know, are you adventurous? You know, something. Do you like to travel?
Yeah.
You know, stuff like
and
that.
I'll just say that you can't meet someone that can open your mind up to that.
Oh, and I think that's
You know,
great.
because I think when you have people who are kind of like opposite, it really
Yes.
balances out your life. You know what I mean?
Me
You
and my
have one-
husband are opposites.
You guys are opposite.
Yes,
'Cause
we
you
are.
very open. I mean, Nikki is like the entertainer. You know what I'm saying? She's got a lot of things going on. She got
He's
something
laid
planned.
back and he's
He's
cool.
laid back. He's cool.
Collective.
Chandler is more the kind of guy. Well, I could do stuff at home.
Yes.
Nikki was like, we're going out.
Yes.
My friend invited us out. We're going out.
And he was like, if it was up to me, I would be at home every weekend, you know, chilling on the couch. He would.
And so I think it's a good balance that
It
way
is.
because you have to have that. That's why people's like, oh, I want somebody just like me. You don't want nobody just
No,
like
you don't.
you. Like, think about who you are and say to yourself, do I really want somebody just like me?
Correct. We have the same core values, though, but we are
That's what I'm
different
saying.
when it comes to
That's-
certain
and
things.
listen, me and my husband are the exact same sign. He's
Oh,
a
you guys
Capricorn.
are?
I'm a Capricorn. And
I didn't know he was a
And not
Capricorn.
only are we the exact same sign, we're a day apart.
I didn't know that either.
He's the 7th, I'm the 8th.
Oh, wow.
And we are completely different.
Mm-hmm.
We are the same when it comes to our core values. We are, but we are completely two different people.
Wow.
We
I
are
did
two.
not know he was a day apart.
Like, I'm super clean, he's super messy. I tell him all the time, if it wasn't for me, you'll be living in squalor, okay? You
Wow.
would be out here living in the dirt somewhere. I
Well,
don't
girl,
even know.
you really good at that. You know, you routine, like, just decorating and everything. I love it. I love it.
So that's what I'm saying. But we're opposite. So it's like you want to have someone that has similar core values to you,
Right.
but
You do.
He's not the same as you.
No,
You know?
definitely
if
not
he's
the
the one
same.
that goes out like to have a good time and you're not, then he'll pull you out of that shell to do
Yeah.
it. You know what I'm
But
saying?
he also gets me to relax. So that's why I can't wait to
Yes.
get home after doing this podcast with you, because I'm actually going to be cooking and meal prepping for the week. And,
Yeah.
you know, we're going to be finished watching some movies and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Listen, I can tell you this. I love to see you and Jamal together.
Yay. Thank
Like,
you.
you're happy for your friends when they find love. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? When the two people align. And that's what it's about. And that's why I'm like, I want to encourage women over 40 to remember that it's about aligning with a person. It's about this person that you're going to meet one day is going to be in the same exact place you are.
Yes.
He's going to want the same exact thing you want. You don't have to date a guy that you have to convince.
Correct. And even the things that you don't like about yourself, he's going to love it.
He's going to love.
And even the things that may have made other people leave you or run the other way, he's going to love it.
He's going to love it.
He's going to love every bit of you.
He's like, you know what? My baby might be crazy, but that's my baby.
Okay.
That's my baby.
Okay.
And that's why I'm like, I feel women are having such a hard time.
And you know, I'm going to be honest with you. If I got married to the jokers that I dated before, I would be divorced.
Oh, yeah.
Divorced. Okay? Because I would have been married in my 20s.
Yeah.
And I'm definitely not the same person that I was in my 20s. And what I was looking for in my 20s is definitely nowhere near to what I have now and what I've been looking for.
Yeah. And you know what's so strange? A lot of people now are really getting married in their 20s. Like,
Yes.
they get married very young. And I'm not knocking anybody for wanting to be married at whatever age, but when you're in your 20s, you don't know who the woman you
I
are.
personally think it's too young. I'm not even going to
I do
lie.
believe it's too young. But there have been people who've been married at 20 and have successful marriages and still
Yes.
married for years.
Yes.
But I still feel like, but they go through the growing pains because
Correct.
when you're in your 20s, you're just becoming. You know what I mean? You're still in that stage
Yep.
of becoming the woman. From 20 to 40s, girl, it's a big
It's a big difference. It's a very
You're a
big
different
difference.
kind of woman. I swear to you, the kind of men I used to like in my 20s, I know.
I don't even look that way.
In my 30s, and I damn sure don't like them in my 40s.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
I'm telling you, I would have been divorced, and I am grateful that I waited. You know, I'm in a better place financially. You know, even though I still need, you know, I got work to do. You know, being a business owner, you know, it's not easy. You know, but
Entrepreneurship mean, like Issa Rae say, I do that shit by myself.
okay, literally,
Do that shit by myself.
literally.
So we understand.
Literally.
Yes. man.
But, I'm in a better position, right now than if I was in my 20s,
I'm in a much better position.
Much better position.
God.
Okay.
Look at the camera. Thank God. I did not marry the men I was going to marry in my 20s.
Tell me about it.
Oh, my God. What? Oh, God.
And you know what I found that I
Not
want
even in my
women.
30s.
Okay? You know what I found out that I want people to realize who are online dating right now? You may find a lot of men out there who actually are newly divorced.
Yeah.
Because they got married at 18 or in their 20s. And they actually out there to have fun right now because they've been tied down for so long or been in a relationship for so long. Do not let that discourage you.
No. And you know what? And respect the fact that someone's honest with you.
Yes.
Because I can only respect a man that's honest about where he is in his life, what he's looking for, what he's not looking for.
Exactly.
But then it's up to you to decide as a woman. Now, if you get with this man that told you, I'm not looking to be married, I'm newly divorced, I've already been married, I'm not looking to be married, I'm not looking to have any more kids.
But you still...
But you want it, though.
Exactly.
And you date him thinking, because he represents a lot that you want, and then you date him thinking that, oh, well, I'm going to change his mind.
No.
Girl, sis.
You need to hear what they say. When they tell you that, or if they're very hesitant about, well, I don't know right now. And I would be the one like, okay, well, when you find out, you can come back and let me know. And that's if I'm still single, or that's if I'm still available, right? And you got to be realistic. You got to be intentional. I don't care how good he look. I don't care how much money he has, what kind of house he is in, or where does he live, and all of that. You need to stick to what you want at the end of the day.
I think that's the main key, is that you have to be willing to walk away from this guy that may be your total package.
Yes.
But don't want the same thing you want.
Exactly.
He might be fine as shit, and he might have the big dick like you
and
want.
And he may have everything else that you want, but he does not want to give you kids or a commitment by marriage. No. Keep it moving, sis.
You got to have that strength to walk away.
Yeah, keep it moving.
I had to do that too.
I did it plenty of times.
I'm like, man, he's fine as shit. But
plenty of times.
Because it's just, especially, like I said, with women in your 40s, it's a waste of our time.
You don't have any time to waste.
It's a waste of our time. Let me tell you, when me and my husband got married, we got married a year later, right? And, some people's like, oh, well, that's kind of early, but we're in our 40s. Like, I mean, how long should my engagement be? By the time, should I wait 5 years? By the time with 5 years, shit, he'll be in his 60s.
Look,
he'll be close to his 60s. We're not in his 60s yet.
I'm not saying you got to get married quickly, but just be intentional, and you'll know when this time is right for you and your partner.
I'm just saying, people felt like, oh, a year is kind of quick. No, it's not. We were ready. He was ready.
As long as you were ready.
I was ready. You know what I'm saying? We both knew what we wanted, and that's why we're here today. You know what I mean? It's a year later, and I've seen some people get married like 6 months later, and they got long marriages.
Yeah, I've seen that too.
20, 30 years. But like you said, it all depends on the person.
Right.
It all depends on what you guys want.
And if you're ready.
And if he's ready. But the one thing I'm not going to do is be engaged to a motherfucker for 10 years.
Hey, look, let me tell you something.
I'm not doing that. That's crazy. He ain't never going to marry you, girl.
Okay. And when I made the intention of, like, I'm done with this online dating, I literally deleted like 80 men out of my phone.
Oh, yeah.
80 men. Now, I didn't sleep with these guys. 80 men. And I'm like, wow, I literally was out in these streets dating, finding, looking, being intentional about my husband. And I found him.
Yeah.
He was right underneath my nose all this time, didn't even know it.
And like you said, your mindset and your actions were aligned.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's why you was able to attract the person that was for you.
Right.
And that it's simply because the people around you knew that you were in that space too. You know what I'm saying? I think that has a lot to do with people recommend someone to you. It's like you have to know that the person is ready for that too.
Exactly,
so
ready
we
to
all
receive.
knew that you were ready.
I was ready to
receive.
receive.
You made it very clear. And you were very clear about what you want, what you're trying to do, and very intentional.
Yes.
And I think that's why when Jackie thought of Jamel, she was like, I think that'd be perfect. And when she came to me with it, and I remember my back was out, I was in the bed.
And he was like, I was thinking the same thing.
And I told Jackie, I was literally thinking the exact same thing. Because I remember the last time I saw him at a party with the ex, and I just thought it, and I saw him, and I always loved him. I always thought he was a really cool guy, really great guy, coming into the room. Always just not thirsty, but women give him very much so see him because he has a presence about him.
Yes,
you know what I mean? But he was always such a cool guy, and I just remember, thinking about when the last time I saw him, and then talking and then knowing about everything else about the breakup.
Right.
You came to my mind immediately.
I'm glad. Thank you, God, for bringing my.
And when Jackie said it, it was like a light bulb went off.
I'm loving it. Thank you, God, for bringing me to their
I
attention.
said, girl, hell yeah, they would be perfect together. He's a cool dude.
That's what I'm talking
Nikki's
about.
a good woman. And now look at you guys married.
I can't believe it. And the wedding was amazing. It was
Beautiful
in Jamaica.
Wedding.
It was in June, and I can't only imagine what's to come.
I think you guys will have a great life.
I think so too.
You know, and we'll have a conversation about marriage, because marriage, it's a process.
It is.
You know what I mean? It is definitely work. People tell you
it's work.
It's real work.
It is work.
You don't get married and then it's like, oh, we're so in love every day.
No. You can get on my damn nerves.
What?
My
Girl,
goddamn nerves.
So, but we're definitely gonna have a conversation. Me and you, Jackie.
I know.
And I'll put all my other friends on the line.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
About being a wife, and then also the transition going from like girlfriend to fiance to wife.
Mm-hmm.
It's a transition. It's an adjustment.
It is. I
had to make a real, and especially with me because my husband have kids already.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a real adjustment for me. Because here I am coming, it's just me, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then here I am coming in and I inherit six kids. And you're like, what the fuck?
And I'm like, wow, this is an adjustment. But you took it like a champ. You actually really did and still are doing a great job. I must say, you are so warm, loving, caring, and I think that you are amazing,
girl.
And I want to say thank you for that, because it inspires me to be a mom, and it inspires me to make memories, because you're just like the memory queen. You know what I mean? You're just so good at it. You every holiday, Easter, everything.
Oh my God.
Right now, if you see her house looks bananas, has all the pumpkins, and there's a pillow I want to steal, because I'm always calling people pumpkin, and it says hello pumpkin, and I'm like, if it's missing, it's in my house. But she's just amazing. You're just like so family oriented. I just love it.
I really am, and I think that's what I'm telling you. That's why we mesh so well, because of
that.
I'm like, I just embrace it. Like, I love the family stuff, and I love doing things with my husband. And then but that's a conversation me and Jackie had. But then it was like, okay, well, what is that thing we do just for you?
Yeah.
And that's that conversation about joy.
Yeah.
I mean, what truly brings
you joy.
Brings me joy. My husband brings me joy, but it's like, what truly brings me
joy?
What brings Shaunie joy?
And
that's what he does.
Yeah,
podcast,
exactly.
And back on this side of the microphone and the camera, this brings me joy,
and is what you're passionate about.
It's what I'm passionate about.
I was actually, I was talking to Jackie about that on the phone, and I was like, I don't know what my passion is, and I'm like, well, I know my scrub business is my passion, but right now, since things haven't been going the way that I wanted it to go, I was losing steam, right? Yeah. I just feel that still is my passion.
Yeah.
And I look forward to what's to come, and I anticipate some beautiful things coming soon.
I think it's a great business.
And opening.
Scrub.
Thank you.
You guys have to purchase.
Thank you. And we have our men's line as well now, and big things are coming. I can't wait. And also, starting the new business,
yes.
is another passion for me. And I love to cook.
Oh, yeah.
And I've always said I don't want to go back to school.
You thinking about going back for cooking?
Yeah. So I was thinking about probably going back to school for culinary school. And I always said, once I actually have a baby, because we're focusing on that right now too, I would focus on that. So I was talking to one of my patients about it, and they brought to light that you can take culinary classes online.
That's so awesome. I didn't even know you could do that.
I didn't even know that either. So I was saying, you know what? Whether I'm out on maternity leave when that time comes, or I might start now. You never know.
Why
so
not?
joy.
I mean, you're prepping every Sunday.
Right, literally.
All the time, so it's like, why not?
So I might start sooner than later. And my other passion is tennis. So I want to get back into tennis. I say that every summer, but next summer. I keep saying I'm going to wait till we get the new house and, get settled and all that. No. I just got to do it. I'm just going to. Next summer, my goal is to get into some sort of tennis club and start playing tennis again, because I love tennis. So, yeah.
Just got to do it. Listen, women over 40, you just got to do it.
You just do it.
You just got to
like Nike.
It.
Just do it.
You just do it like Nike. I was going to start to show off with some statistics that I read online, but the data was so depressing that I didn't want to share it, because I don't think the data is accurate.
I don't think so either.
I just don't think it is. I don't, because the dating the likelihood of a woman getting married over 40 is so low.
Really?
It's very low.
You know,
I don't. A woman between like 30 and 35.
What is it? I rebuke it. You want to know why?
Exactly.
You want to know why? Because, you know, they keep saying, well, there's not enough men in the world and all this other stuff. But listen, when I went into this dating thing, I looked at it differently. Mm-hmm. First of all, some of the men I ain't going to want to date because some of them are in jail.
Yeah. Yeah.
There are men out there who are gay.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? And same goes for women. There's some women in jail. Mm-hmm. There's also some women who are gay. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, I'm not going to be going for that part of the population, right?
No.
I'm only going to go for what I want. You understand? And I believe that what's for me is out there, just like I believe what's for you is out there. Yeah. Love is still, I believe in love. I will never think anything negative when it comes to love. Mm-hmm. I think there's always going to be somebody out there for you. Yep. You may not get it when you want it, but keep doing you, what brings you joy, what's your passion. Keep working on you.
Yeah.
And believe me, it will come.
It will come.
It will come.
Listen, that was a good closing for the show.
Oh, hey. I love it.
That was a good closing,
Thank
but you're
you.
right. It will come.
It will come.
That's just the thing. Be patient.
Yeah.
You know, don't get discouraged.
Mm-hmm. Be intentional.
Be intentional. You know, you're going to have to kiss a lot of frogs to get to your purpose.
And think of it like a beautiful surprise.
A beautiful surprise.
Because you don't know whatever you believe in, God, the universe, whatever you believe in, mm-hmm. will bring it to you in a nice, beautiful surprise. And it's going to come to you when you least expect it.
Yeah.
Just be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready.
Be ready. So listen, this is what I ask every guest. I'm beginning to ask every guest, a co-host that come to the show. Mm-hmm. And if you can go back to your, let's say your early 20s, mm-hmm. what advice would you give your younger self? You know, when it comes to career, when it comes to love, you know what I mean? What advice you think you would give like the younger Nikki when she was in her 20s?
I think the advice I would give myself is value yourself. Believe in yourself. Because when I was younger, I think I didn't believe in myself and I didn't value myself, because that's the reason why I had friends and guys that I dated, that I was in friendships or relationships for too long, because I didn't value myself. Yeah. Value yourself and do whatever makes you happy.
Yeah. That's good advice.
Mm-hmm. Value yourself and do whatever makes you happy. Even if you don't know how it's going to work out or how it's going to come into play, do it anyway.
Do it anyway. Do it anyway. Listen, Nikki, thank you so much for hanging out.
Well, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being my first co-host.
Yes. I love it. This is amazing. Girl, look, when we get our new house, I'm going to call you, Tamara, to help me out. With decorating.
I'm always here.
Girl, I love
it. You know it.
I love it.
Well, guys, listen. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me on the Girl Take Note podcast. Every Thursday, we drop a new episode. So make sure you guys check out the podcast every Thursday. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel on YouTube, as you can get the full video on YouTube. And we'll see you guys next time.
Yes, see you soon.